What's good, superstars? Back with another VV video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the house. Rob, how's it going?
Pretty good. You?
Oh, I'm dizzy. Oh,
Take that espresso in your face. Hot coffee. Get the
burn.
lawsuit going.
It burned my face. Anyways, guys, if you are new here, please remember to hit the subscribe button. Become a superstar. I tell you, it is not a lie. Things are happening. Good things are happening to superstars. So if you have not hit the subscribe button and you're just watching, we have a lot to show you. I can't even go into the next slides here that I usually do because Rob's got a bunch of success stories posted on his screen that we're going to pull up right now. And Rob, why don't you go into all the things that happened to people who became superstars?
I got to admit, I really shed a tear of happiness with all the success stories that I read yesterday. And I'm going to pull up some of them to showcase them. So we're going to start off with our boy, superstar Mo Fresh. It all started with this comment. He said, superstars, Rob and Joe. I think becoming a superstar was hands down one of the greatest decisions I have made as an adult. Not only have I become a superstar, but I'm an owner of 3 ultra rare Vaders right off the drop. The force is real and being a superstar is real too. And man, there's his tweet right here. Sends us his 3, added us on Twitter. The Yield 3 ultra rares. We got some green trucks. So huge shout out to superstar Mo Fresh. We just shouted him up the video before. Supposedly his barber gave him a free haircut. Now, I know that was probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but 3 ultra rare Vaders were $2K each. $25 haircut.
I'm starting to think the haircut was real too. After this,
maybe the haircut was real. Like,
yep.
This is insane. And then it just kept going on and on. I loved hearing that. And then I moved on. And then Jeff Smith, superstar Jeff Smith. This is true. He's an OG superstar. He's been with us for a long time. Got an ultra rare on Vader and secret rare on Star Wars #1. It's true. It's true. Once you become a superstar, you just win. It's true. He said it twice that it's true. He emphasized it. It's true. It's true. Unbelievable. Then we move on. We got 3 in a row here. And here's another OG superstar, Marvelous Packs. I hit a number 2077 ultra rare Vader on drop right after dropping mad comments on superstar videos. So good. This was the grail I have been waiting for. Superstar O-Face 20. Listen to them, guys. Become a superstar. These guys on my collectibles are my fave. 6 weeks of comments. Been a superstar, but sub my work account. Boom. 3 Ws. 1 uncommon, 2 ultra rares, including a 3-digit. It's the superstar juju, I tell ya.
You guys got more than one account. Become superstars on all your accounts because then all those accounts will get the blessings. It just happens. This is crazy. We're not even done yet, Rob. Keep going.
I'm not even done yet. He made another account, a work account, in order to get this luck. Superstar Daniel Flores, another familiar name. I'm subscribed and I got an ultra rare. And since he's on the screen, shout out superstar Bob Sales this time next year. You can go check out. He has a YouTube channel. Let's go superstars. Can you believe the one drop I was out for and didn't get was the one to make profit?
He didn't go for the drop.
He didn't go
for the drop. It's guaranteed ultra rare at this point, probably triple digits. Bob Sales, what are you doing, superstar Bob Sales? You got to go for the drops when you're a superstar.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not done yet. We're gonna really. Nice. I told you, I shed a tear. I was so happy at what I heard.
You have to hit the subscribe button if you believe in any of this mojo. You know what I'm saying? Because people are going crazy in the comments.
Mel's Meta Magic, another YouTuber. Check her out, superstar Mel. I watched your last video right before I clicked buy now and hit a 3-digit ultra rare Vader, and it continues. Connor Limpert. Okay, if you remember, we showed a video of him. He was the one that was getting choked, and you could pull it up. He says, "Me and my girlfriend watched your videos, and with her being a superstar, she got an ultra rare Vader. Then I made a video, and Veve retweeted it. I'll DM it to you. Oh my God, never mind. Y'all showed it. My bad. We already showed it last video.
Right here. There you go. Superstar Connor on the Veve feed. Do you believe it, guys? Just hit the subscribe button. It's so easy. Look at what happens. But Rob, are you done yet?
I'm not done. And here's one of my favorite superstars. Superstar Nail Butt, always in the comments supporting us. He said that he hit the ultra rare on the drop. I couldn't be happier for him. Pays to be a superstar. I picked up another at 900 gems. Good purchase. as I didn't know what I had got and wanted to have the set for sure. I think possibly not being a secret rare, there could be an error drop. So that is all I got now. There is actually some more if you go through the comments and different videos. But I mean, this video with the Grail drop, the high net worth drop, we were just showered with people that had good superstar luck, and we couldn't be happier for the superstar fam because I didn't get one. Joe got one. I didn't get one, but I'm glad to know that the superstar fam had a great drop day with Darth Vader.
And the subscriptions have been coming in. You guys have been pouring in with subscriptions, and ever since then, we've just seen this churning. So we're like feeding off of each other's energy. Oh, I believe in it, man. I believe in it. So becoming a superstar could be the best decision of your life. Is that what he said?
It sounds like it might have been the best decision of superstar Mo Fresh adult life.
Wow.
So I mean, look, he just made 6K overnight. We made a video on how you made 1,000 in 5 seconds. This guy made 6 in like
destroyed me.
I think got a couple rebounds. So I think he made 6K in like, what, 10 minutes? And just because he subscribed, amazing. I'm so happy.
Hit the subscribe button, guys. Changes your life. Trust me. Anyways, let us get on with the daily news, guys. We had to talk about it because there's just too many
That
things
was a
happening.
solid 6 minutes of just comments right there.
It was just actually like ridiculous. We kept reading them. We're like, are you kidding me? This is actually happening. So guys, it could change your life. Just hit it.
Yeah.
So easy. If you're already watching anyways, it's free. It costs you nothing.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it'll help you out, right? So hit that subscribe button for sure. Let us continue. Today there was a drop, and the weekday drops have been getting to me. I have been missing them by 1 minute or 2 minutes lately. Today, same thing. I went into the app at 11:01 Eastern, missed the drop, but I did end up scooping some commons in the secondary for like around 7 gems.
Yeah.
I think I got 3, and then I got a rare for like 18. So I was okay with that.
Yeah, I called you at like 11:04 just to talk, and you're like, oh, we missed the drop, and I'm like, oh my, I just got off a call with work, and I'm like, oh my, we forgot it again. It's tough those weekdays. It's unfortunate, but again, this is a good comic. We had our superstar consultants in the comments telling us about how this was a future grail. I think that we don't have the Gold Collect subscription, but it sold for 147K in the physical world. So this was definitely a good comic to own if you don't already.
Any day that there is a comic drop, go check the video day before. You're either going to see Superstar L Champ or Superstar Laura M in the comments giving you the details about these comics. They have very well-informed information, and there's others out there of you guys that leave comments as well. So always go check out the day before's video and see if it's worth going for. This one here we were told to go for. It just happens that me and Rob are degenerates and did not pay attention. But one secondary market early enough, and you're still able to get it around box price. I don't know where it's going now.
Actually, I'll pull it up quickly since we just mentioned him. So this was a tag team between Superstar Consultant Ian Barnes and Superstar Consultant
Just an example.
He just said Avengers 4 9.8 sold in 2017 for 140K, but he says that this book right now he thinks will fetch $250,000. So that's a big ticket item for this comic. If you want to circle and pick it up in the aftermarket, it's not a bad one. He said definitely a blue chip comic, and it's always been a sought after book. So I hope you guys decide to go for the drop. Anyways.
Yeah. All right. So so now we're done through the Twitter. Nothing really big happening. It's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to all our American viewers out there. You guys had a nice day off. Hopefully you do some fireworks, honor the vets, all that good stuff down there. And I don't know, maybe some barbecue, whatever. It's a long weekend. There's some nice weather. Hopefully everybody out there is enjoying the day off. We also don't have anything planned, I guess, in terms of Veve. I haven't seen anything. If I'm missing something, let me know. But doesn't look like there's any other stuff coming up. Maybe we're going to get some kitchen food coming up. I don't know if that's why they put this. You know, we're always looking into whatever Veve posts. But that didn't mean that we don't have a lot to talk about in this one. So you guys think that we're done soon? We're not even started. This video is a banger. You see the title down below. We're going to get into it, but let's explain our reasoning here. Bravos Assassin, longtime superstar, great analytic mind of the Veve community. If you're not following Bravos Assassin on Twitter, make sure that you go do that right after watching this video, because this is like a must follow, especially if you're into the numbers and learning about how many gems are in there, how many wallets there are, how many people own how many collectibles. So you know kind of how you're doing compared to everybody else, right? Really important, especially for MCP. He has VeveSetlist.com. You can go there, check out the Learn tab. There's a bunch of Superstar Money videos on there as well. Very, very cool resource to have, and definitely must follow like every Veve user. If you're serious about it, you got to follow this guy. So Rob, what do we see here?
So yeah, like we've been preaching for the last few videos that we really were interested in seeing what happens with this drop. We've talked a lot about the growth of Veve because the growth of Veve will be essential to seeing those January type prices again. We will not be able to see those prices again unless we have an influx of money similar to when those days came. So we're going to start off with how many new users we think came in during the Star Wars. And there is some good news here, which is that it appears if you add up the deltas, those are all going to be new users, right? You add them all up, you're looking at what, like close to maybe 6,000?
7,400.
7,400 new wallets came. So we grew by 7,400 in a community that isn't really that big. It's nice to have that growth and maybe they can build on some momentum. But then the question is it enough? People were not buying because they had gems on the side waiting for the Vader drop. So we were curious to see what would happen to the gems in app. And we were also curious to see what would happen with the new money coming in. So although it's nice to see 7,400 new wallets over 2 because the ones under 1, you don't know if they're bots, if they're burner, you don't know what they are.
Yep.
We would like to see how the numbers in the gem economy kind of worked out. So maybe you could pull up his sheet.
So I will do that. I just want to make one point here.
Yeah.
If you did go for the Vader drop, there is a very highly likely chance, if you were to talk to anybody who went for it, that you did land the drop. At least one. There's some people who didn't, but there's also some people who landed more than one on the initial drop before any rebounds. So including myself, I landed 2 right off the drop. I went in, got out, went in again, got 2 on the drop. That to me says that you do not have whatever there was. How many mints? 25,000?
27, yeah.
27,000. You do not have 27,000 people going for that drop if there's multiple people getting multiples on this. Maybe not everybody got a multiple, so maybe you're more in the 15, 20,000 range. But to me, we still don't have that many people. This was the most anticipated drop in a while since maybe Steamboat Willie dropped it. I think it's even more hype than that was at the time that came out, and that came out in a bull market.
This was the most hype drop I think they ever had.
Yeah, like in terms this is when the most people have been into Veve, the number of wallets ever, and only 20,000 people, maybe if you give them that, went for this drop.
Yeah,
that to me doesn't mean that Veve's all the way there yet, and we're gonna even dig deeper into the numbers. So Pudding Cheeks, shout out Pudding Cheeks, another must follow on Twitter if you're not following. Does this crazy spreadsheet here. It's updated daily. And if you've never watched us before, we talk about this pretty often. And it shows the L column is what we always like to track the most. This is the gems in the app, because if you were to liquidate every item in the app, so remember this, every time there's a drop, you're adding more tokens into the app. More tokens, more tokens. But since basically end of March, this has generally downtrended in terms of number of gems in the app. But
and it flatlined a bit. It flatlined.
But we've also added in a bunch new mints. So now we have pretty much same supply, maybe a little bit less now because we've just had this huge Star Wars weekend. But even if you remove that, we've had pretty much same supply of gems. I'll pull up the chart. It's actually starting to go down, it looks like.
Yeah.
But we have more mints. So now everything in the app cannot be purchased for the same amount as it could have been purchased way back in March, which is like the peak. Now we're getting less and less and less. The lower that number goes and the more mints we add to the circulating or to the Veve app, it means that basically things will not sell for what they are shown in the store. They're basically fake floors, as Rob likes to call them.
You can't you can't liquidate because the gems in app are now. People can always come and buy more. What I have a theory that I'm curious to see as more data comes out, but I have a theory that because of the steadiness of the gems in app and the slow decline, I do feel that there's a massive arbitrage game going on right now where a lot of people have the gems on app for nothing more than just MTL. They buy the gems half price. They don't buy any collectibles with them. They just hold them, and they will cash out when MTL comes. But I don't know the extent of that because it's been holding pretty steady with a slow decline. But as that number continues to decrease, that means there's just less gems available for people's collectibles in the secondary market to be bought up unless new money is added, which will come mainly from new users. Now, maybe you want to make some more points before I transition to the new users.
I do want to say something. If you're looking at this chart here, you see how the blue line, that's what we're looking at. We're focusing on. It's basically at 124 million we showed you earlier. But when MTL does come and people do sell their arbitrage gems off, I'm not worried about this number dropping in half. If it drops in half, whatever that number drops, it doesn't matter because those gems were never in play in the first place. So the gems that we're talking about spending in the app will still remain because those will be gems that people are actually going to be using to buy collectibles. So things shouldn't drop more because the gems that are being used to buy things in the app will still be there.
Unless people get tempted, right? They might get tempted though.
I'm just saying people who have like locked in that they're going to use it for arbitrage. But as this not like right now, you can't cash out, so everything is relative. And as this number dips, that is only solely coming out of the gems that are used for purchasing collectibles. Right. So the lower that number goes, the less gems that can be purchasing things. Now we did have the Vader drop. And I do not think that Vader will get hit nearly as quickly or as aggressively as some of the other things in the app, just because it just came out. People have this priced in decline that this is at the bottom of the market in a lot of people's minds. I don't think so, but it still has the potential to decline. I just don't think it has the potential to decline as fast, just because there's a lot of like people moved into this. You know what I mean? They just moved into this, so it's going to take a little bit of holding time for people to say, okay, maybe I'm going to paper hand. I'm sure there's a lot of people who tried to flip and got caught maybe, but I just think Vader might hold up a little bit longer just because it's relatively new. But I don't see the rest of the market. Like we saw this big fall off since March. I don't see the rest of the market recovering because Vader's done now. Everybody who didn't get Vader's buying back in. Sure, there's a little bit of a pump, but I think overall market sentiment and the numbers that we are seeing do not show anything to say that we're not going to continue on this downtrend.
Let's put some data to it. So I'm going to pull up my screen, okay? Exactly. So let's put some data to it. So the question we want answered is, did we bring in new users? Did this drop bring in new users? Very similar to how the golden moments brought in new users, which helped create that environment for that January pump. So now we're going to go, even though the gems in app is our favorite column, to answer that question, we're going to jump over just to the gems bought each day. So if you take a look at this graph here, if you look at the date, this is the November time period, okay, when you had the golden moments. Look at the kind of money we were getting each day here. You have this point right over here, which is 1.7 million. You have this point over here, which is 4.4 million. You have this point over here, which is 5.2 million. You have this point over here, which is 7.4 money. That's a lot of money to come into the app in a short period of time. And that was money of new people that probably, you know, if we got Bravos Assassins to look up the wallets for us, there's probably thousands of new wallets, tens of thousands of new wallets, bringing in all of this money to go for the golden moments drops. And then in January, we saw some more during the Veve December period time, right? We have 12 Christmas, Christmas time. You had 4.4 million. Then, you know, in February, we had the end of February, which was the peak of the market. You had 5.4 million. 5.7. I don't even remember what drop it was. And then you had this
probably there was other golden moments. There was the lenticulars. There's a couple big weeks in there.
Yeah, it could be that. And then you had the gem scandal over here at 8.6 million. Now let's look at Darth Vader, because the question is, did Darth Vader bring in enough new money to potentially create an environment of a pump? Now, we don't know what's going to happen after this week, but as of right now, if you compare, we brought in 1.8 million on this drop. Compare that to January. Compare that to golden moments in November. We're not even close to the same amount of hype and the same amount of money that came into the app to buy up those cheap floors. So because of this, I'm going to speculate, and of course, none of us have a crystal ball. For all we know, over the next week, more money's going to start coming in, flying in like crazy. But I'm going to speculate that, unfortunately, we didn't get the new users that we're going to need to buy up the floors, and our time to wait for January highs will have to continue.
And I do think that Veve is not worried about this, and this drop was still a massive success. You have to take that in. They still sold out everything that they
well, the whole Star Wars week was a success.
The whole Star Wars thing sold out. They made every penny that they would have made if there was 1 million people in the app or 10 million people in the app. Didn't matter. They sold every single thing that they wanted to sell. Now, secondary market, maybe they would have made more buys and sells. Maybe a lot of things would have pumped up a little bit more. They would have made a bigger profit per sale like that. But these things are in the app now. They're here, so that can always come whenever Veve's ready for scaling. And it appears that they're not just there yet. They did do some advertising, but it was a couple of things on some screens at a convention. that had maybe 60,000 people. And we saw the numbers from Bravos Assassin. It was 7,400 new wallets.
Yeah. Well, over two. We don't know how many under one, but still, like the under ones are risky because you don't know who's a bot and who's just a so who's not going to be a serious.
But we also know that less than 26,000 people went for this Vader drop.
They must have been,
and I'm sure that a lot of these people who went for it were on multiple phones. So that's another thing. If there's people on multiple phones, let's say even 25% of the people are on multiple phones, that takes down the number again, right? So you got to think, what are the true numbers that we have right now? And there's the sentiment in the entire financial market, stocks, NFTs, that has not rebounded completely yet. People are not talking the same way they were earlier in the year. But beginning of the year, usually there's a lot of hype around investing just because it's a new year. So there's going to be another cycle. We just don't want everybody here to think, I have to go and I have to buy now because Vader dropped, and now people who didn't get Vader are going to pump everything out.
Well, based on the data, I have to where do we go from here now? So based on what I'm seeing, and we'll continue to track this, but based on what I'm seeing, I don't expect a widespread market increase after Vader, just because we didn't have the same level of buying power on drop day than we did compared to some of these other drops. We had nowhere near 1.8 million. Compare that to the 7 million spike. Compare that to the previous followed up 5 million spike. Compare that to the previous 4.4 million spike. We're not even close to that level of a weekly purchase. And for that reason, I think that probably where you go from here is if you're rushing to buy if you're in a FOMO mode, that you're rushing to buy up all the floors thinking that we're gonna have a massive increase thanks to Star Wars, and it could happen, but it'll be a little bit more gradual rather than like golden moments pump. Or maybe we have to wait a lot longer. I don't know.
If you're checking the markets right now, there has been things that have rebounded. People probably delisted some things. I know a bunch of people probably selling Todds and Supermans and trying to get into Vader and didn't, so they took them down probably to keep their grails. That doesn't mean that the price will not go right back down. There's less gems in the app now than there was before Star Wars weekend, so that's one thing. There's more mints in the app now than there was before Star Wars weekend. A lot more mints because we had all those lightsabers and all that. But it's just, there's nothing yet that has pushed the door open. And Rob's chart here is a perfect example. Sure, we brought in 1.8 million, but now what? If there's not like, is it going to be a ramp here? Are we going to ramp up here and just keep bringing in people? I don't think that the IP alone can do that. I think there needs to be a effort between marketing, IP, and people want to cash out.
Well, look at the perspective. A bad day in December was like 800K, 1.8. It's not even that much more if you think about it.
And that's on Vader, like one of the best drops ever on the app. Animated, ultra rare, great drop numbers. Everything was like good about this drop that they put out 5,000 URs. Like it was perfect numbers. I feel like it's just everything is not there yet, and there's no real reason for this thing to pump. We've seen a little bit of localized pumping, but I don't think that it's this is personal opinion, obviously, but I don't think that it's
a trend.
I think exactly. It's not a trend.
It doesn't mean it's a trend. Yeah. We're still in that barrier cycle, but I don't have anything more to add. I think that was pretty, something that we wanted to talk, because there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen next. We like to have a little bit of fun with it. These are our thoughts, but we want to know what your thoughts are below, because we love to hear from you. You saw all those comments that we read. Right? We read all those comments talking about Superstar Mo Fresh with the 3 ultra rares. It's fantastic to hear. So don't forget, smash that subscribe button, join the Superstar fam. We love to hear from you. Do you agree with our assessment? Do you think we've hit a market bottom and that the Vader might be the catalyst to bring new users to the app? Or are you thinking that maybe it's not enough right now in the current cycle and there'll be a little bit more time? What are you doing? Are you buying or are you waiting? What are you doing, or are you selling? Let us know. We want to hear from you. Respond to every single comment, and we will see you on the next one. Take care.
Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.